We've all had mornings where we desperately want to stay in bed and skip school. For a young French boy named Franz, that morning involves running late and dreading a pop quiz on participles. He'd much rather be outside enjoying the warm weather and listening to the birds. But when he finally reaches the schoolyard, the usual chaos is missing. There's no sound of desks opening, no students repeating lessons loudly. Instead, the building sits in an eerie Sunday morning stillness. This local silence is the direct fallout of a massive international conflict. It's 1870, the Franco-Prussian War is raging, and France has suffered a devastating military defeat. Looking at this map of the French border, you can see Alsace and Lorraine. Following the French defeat, a harsh order arrived from Berlin. These regions are under Prussian control, and French is completely banned in schools. Only German will be taught. That political mandate crashes down on Franz's ordinary morning. The class he tried to skip is, in reality, his absolute last French lesson. The village has known trouble was brewing for a while. For the past 2 years, every piece of bad news, military order, and lost battle has been pinned to the town hall's bulletin board. Knowing the source of this tension is crucial for your TAMs. If you look at question 10 on this practice sheet, you are explicitly tested on the fact that the bulletin board has been the origin point for all this bad news. Inside the classroom, the surprises continue. Instead of receiving a harsh scolding for arriving late, Franz finds his typically strict teacher, Mr. Hamel, speaking with uncharacteristic kindness. Taking his seat, Franz notices the back benches. Read the highlighted text right here. The village elders, including old Hauser, are sitting quietly in the usually empty rows at the back of the room. This is where the grim reality sets in. Franz is hit with a sudden, overwhelming wave of guilt. He realizes he has squandered his education, skipping his lessons to hunt for birds' eggs or slide on the Saar River. His entire perspective shifts. The heavy grammar and history books that he considered annoying nuisances just hours ago suddenly feel like dear old friends. He realizes he cannot bear to part with them. This deep sense of reverence is mirrored at the front of the room. Looking at question 9 here, you need to know exactly what M. Hamel wore: his beautiful green coat, frilled shirt, and black silk cap, clothes reserved strictly for inspection and prize days. The teacher's fine clothes and the silent villagers point to the exact same truth. They are holding a collective mourning for the educational freedom they took for granted, offering a final sign of respect for 40 years of faithful service. Standing before the class, Anne Hamel makes the emotional announcement of his retirement and delivers a passionate defense of their native tongue. This introduces a concept called linguistic chauvinism. It happens when a ruling power forces its own language onto a conquered people, intentionally trying to overwrite and erase their culture from the ground up. M. Hamel counters this forced erasure. He argues French is the most beautiful, clear, and logical language in the world. He tells the room that as long as enslaved people hold fast to their language, they have the key to their prison. This quiet patriotism inside the schoolhouse is starkly interrupted. Outside, the sound of Prussian soldiers drilling echoes through the windows, making the threat of imperialism physical and immediate. M. Hamel's exact words are highly testable. In question 7, you'll need to remember his specific description of French as the most beautiful, clear, and logical language to select the correct answer. The author Daudet builds a precise argument here. National identity relies on language preservation. If the people lose their language, their cultural defeat is absolute. The emotional peak hits when the church clock strikes 12. The midday tolling is immediately followed by the blare of Prussian trumpets returning from their drill, signaling that the lesson and their freedom is officially over. Overcome with emotion, pale and physically unable to speak, M. Hamel turns to the chalkboard. Leaning against the wall, he writes his final, defining message as large as he can. The last lesson highlights a painful human tendency. We often fail to recognize the immense value of our culture, our language, and our everyday freedoms until an outside force violently strips them away. Let's lock this in for your exams with a rapid-fire review. First, that solemn, eerie atmosphere in the classroom, it was directly caused by the political order from Berlin. Second, remember Franz's character arc. He shifts from a careless truant to someone burdened by deep regret. And finally, M. Hamill stands as the story's ultimate symbol of dignified patriotism. To make sure you've mastered these themes and testable facts, head over and complete the daily practice problem notes. Your exams will test you on these exact details, so get your practice in now.